Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of light and secret knowledge wherever you may be, you are listening to Points of Light Radio, the podcast dedicated to taking you past the apron and behind the closed doors of lodges everywhere. And here is your host, Stan Miller.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, adnastana. It's a blessing and a pleasure to be back with you here on Points of Light Radio and continuing this journey of light and knowledge. It's also a pleasure to continue our efforts to raise the profile and preserve the history of these wonderful fraternal organizations that you see here in almost every segment of Points of Light Radio. Now, you may recall in a previous segment of Points of Light Radio, I have featured both the International Order of Oddfellows and the Grand United Order of Oddfellows, as well as their appendant bodies and organizations that surround them. Now, to give you some background, the Oddfellows are one of the oldest fraternal organizations. They really are. The first known Oddfellows group met in Yorkshire, England, and they date back to 1730. Right? The Grand United Order of Oddfellows was formed in the United States in 1843. But during recent research, I was introduced to the improved order of Patriotic Oddfellows. I'm stunned at the depth. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm stunned at the depth of the Oddfellows, right? That, even after visiting all those two different Oddfellows groups and their appendant bodies, that, right, there's still more to them, right? They're a very deep organization. Odd Fellowship is very deep, and I'm really beginning to appreciate that about Odd Fellowship, right? And we're going to continue our journey today by fellowshipping with Shawn Cannan. Mr. Cannan is the Honorable Grand Master and founder of the improved Order of Patriotic Oddfellows. Now, what's the difference between the International Order of Oddfellows, the Grand United Order of Oddfellows, the improved Order of Patriotic Oddfellows? Well, let's let Mr. Cannan explain that, right? So, let's go fellowship with Mr. Cannan. But are you still thirsty for knowledge? Are you still searching for the light? Then you just trim your lamp and follow me.
How you doing today?
Very good, thank you. Mr. Cannan, welcome to Points of Light Radio.
Hey, thank you, sir. How you doing today?
Very good, thanks. Now, I understand that you are the, hang on a second here. You are the founder and honorable Grand Master of the Improved Order of the Patriotic Oddfellows.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you've been in Odd Fellowship for quite a while, but this is something the Improved Order of Patriotic Oddfellows is something that you recently started. First of all, tell my listeners and viewers about yourself.
Well, I am a Mason, Principal Mason. I'm a elk, and I used to belong to a different Oddfellows organization, and I didn't like how they was trying to do certain things. So what I did was, and some of my people must say, we had a meeting, convention, and we decided we're going to disassociate with them, and we wanted to go into the old traditional way, but with a little modern twist, not just solely dependent on membership, but we want to use membership to help build a foundation for us to have businesses and so to fund our endeavors to do better community activities, such as mentoring, work training. But so we wanted to do more and use more modern technology to do so, such as using computers, social media training and stuff like that, online and not just solely dependent on person to person, because sometimes people can't make it to every meeting, but they can listen and hear. Just that there's certain qualifications, certain things that you can do, and where you can be on the internet, certain things you can't do when you're opening. You can't do certain things. Can't do a residential open on it. You could get online with everybody after the opening or closing, but we just believe in brotherhood, loyalty, and strong fellowship with one another and others as well. It just don't have to be members of our organization, but with other people who believe in good fellowship and community services needed in this world today.
So it sounds like I said, you're falling in line with the goals of this. Some of the goals that I've talked about in this organization, how fraternalism has to evolve. It really does. Like it sounds like from what you're saying, some of the other orders of Odd Fellowship had not properly evolved over time, shall we say.
Well, majority haven't evolved. They still in the same rut and pattern and not willing to change or adapt. But and with me and a group that we originally was called District of South Carolina, the Grand United Order of Odd Fellows, was incorporated in 1906, but founded in the late 1800s. We're still under that heading, but we opened up the new branch of Odd Fellows under that because we wanted to keep our history. We also wanted to, because we got records from the 1800s to probably the early 1980s. So we want to keep our history, but still be able to expand and develop and using modern technology to do so. We hope to have computer training. We hope that using our training for our classes, using computers, internet with Zoom training or other programs to do training for degree work or for whatever it needed to make sure that we better equip and help our communities.
That's actually a very good idea. Actually, like you're training for your degree work online. That is excellent. Yeah, I mean that really shows a lot of forward thinking there. Now, what are the qualifications to join? I understand, like the International Order of Odd Fellows does admit women now to their lodges, but I don't think the Grand United Order does. So, what are the qualifications to join?
And uh, we have old traditions, but we do things in modern ways. Men are in the lodges, women's are in the households. So with that being said, it's a separate in that way, but we have other branches where they are unisex, such as our Order of Pyramid and our Patriarchy are unisex. But the basic fundamental, they start off with the men in the lodges, women in the household, and then as they move up and expand, then they could go into different areas where they would have unisex meetings. And our pyramid is similar to the shrine, but not quite. We're more, like I said, we're more traditional, but we use modern technology to accomplish our results at the same time.
Now, you talked about degree work. How many degrees are there to the Improved Order of Patriotic Odd Fellows?
Realistically, there's 8 if you count the initiation, but there's 7 degrees, and each degree represents a different level of position you can hold in your lodge, such as if you want to run the lodge or be the head of the lodge, that's title is a noble grand, so you have to have at least 5 degrees, and you're able to get these degrees within 30 to 60 days of each other, but it's up to the individual to decide if they want to achieve these different degrees.
Work at your own pace type thing.
Yes, and also you have to pass a test. You don't just get a degree because you say you want it. You got to actually go to the lesson, study the lesson, pass the test. If you can't pass the test, with over at least an 8 or above, you're not getting a degree. So it really becomes up to you how far or how quick you either elevate or not elevate. You can stay at the same degree for all your life. We don't believe in pressuring you in getting a degree. We let you choose to get it at your own pace. That's best
Now, if a
suited for
Grand
you.
United Order of Oddfellows person come in and tried to join the improved Order of Patriotic Oddfellows, would you recognize their degrees, or would they have to go through all the degrees again?
Our degrees are a little bit different. Um, so I couldn't just recognize their degrees
Okay.
because our degrees are a little bit different and set up a little bit differently. Um, the method that we do it is similar but not similar. We have actually there's they use one law setting for everything. We have a different law setting for our laws of instruction and our regular laws meet. So you have to go through that process because we're not exactly the same. We're not the same organization. We don't try to be, and we're not a Masonic organization. So we will do the same thing no matter what your degree is in Masonic. You still have to start from where everybody else start from the beginning.
Okay. Now,
But
oh, sorry.
yeah,
Now, what is the name of your Patriotic Oddfellows Lodge? What is the
it's called patriotic. All of them called patriotic, but they're recognized by their states or where they at. Like each
no? But do you
state,
meet? What building do you meet in? Where do you meet? Like, or is
we meet in different buildings. We meet in some else, some maybe American Legions, and we also meet in our some people meet in their houses, which is allowed as long as you make sure those who are in the house are of that degree and part of the program. They can meet actually in their houses because that's where we start out from originally. Our first originally founded in the 1400s in Rome. And then when all the records and stuff burned down, they migrated to England in the 1700s. And from there and masonry began and but at one time Oddfellows itself was one of the biggest in the world and
yes,
now it shrunk by a great deal because it failed to evolve and adapt, so the organization dwindled. Well, we're a small group. I'm not going to say we're a big group right now. We are a very small group. We're starting up, and but the ones who do join right now in that first year are able to be what I call the founding followers because I'm giving them input on how we develop and make sure our programs actually function better for our members and for our communities. Not just say, oh, you do this one way and that we work with off of giving each other feedback and opinions and thoughts to make our ritual better. I do maybe the grunt of it, and then they look at it and we go through some of it and say, okay, this is what worked for us and this is what don't work for us from whatever degree. This is what sounds maybe a little better, or we need to take this out. So it's not always the same. It's not always the same as I may start it, but usually after we finish up one degree or another degree, is we already went through the whole process. Then we develop the study questions for the test. For when you get a degree, you have a certain amount of time. You get your degree, then we give you time to study for it. We give you the lectures and stuff like that. Then we give you time to study for you because you got really just because you sit there and listen to me, you're going to automatically know. But we want you to know. So we give you time to study after you get your lecture between that 30 and 60 days to learn more about what you got, not just say you got it because you pay some money and then really you depreciate it because only you did pay some money. Now you got this higher degree, but you don't know what you got or understand what you got or the meaning. We want you to understand the meaning of what you got, the importance of what you got, not just think my wallet got me where I want to get. Because a lot of people and a lot of organizations nowadays, you can get any degree you want to, as long as you're willing to pay the high price or whatever price they set. You could practically get any degree you want if you got the money,
Okay.
or you want to kiss somebody and sugar up to them. But I believe in hard work and education. If you don't want to do the education, then you don't need to have the degree or the title.
Now, what is the makeup so far of the lodge? Are you finding young people, old people, mostly odd fellows, member of the craft trying to join? What do you find of people now that are trying
I
to?
find more disgruntled people who are part of fraternal orders like myself, who want more but can't do more because you got people who stand in the way, who just want to have the title to say they have the title to make themselves more important, but not do the work. So we meet more people who, some are Masons in the group, some are improve IOF, and some of them are Grand United that's in our group. We don't discriminate what organization you come to, but we finding that we're getting newer people who are more disgruntled about what they've been into than not. And we have a few people who've never been into anything.
That's
So
beautiful. That is good.
so we were I have no discrimination or what you have been in or not been in, what race you are or what race you are, about who could join our organization. We believe all is welcome if you have a good heart and want to give back to your community, not just to yourself and uplift yourself. We want you to uplift your community and the people around you.
So, if an International Order of Odd Fellows gentleman came in and wanted to join the Improved Order of
Improve.
Patriotic Odd Fellows, you wouldn't say you got to leave that organization before you come in. You'd say, no, you can be both.
No, it's your choice, and it's up to how much your money can stretch. If you can stretch to pay for 5, 6 different organizations, that's on you. We can't govern your wallet. We only could govern it no matter what you do in our organization. What you do in another organization, that's your business.
Okay.
So we don't discriminate what you've been in or doing.
Now, what has Odd Fellowship done for you over the years? You've been in for how long now?
Total our fellowship, I've been in about 9 years.
Okay.
It taught me good and bad things. When I was a part of the other organization, it did initially taught me more about some friendship. Seen in other organizations. It's a continuation where I've been learning, but it also taught me that change is needed.
Yeah.
And because change is needed, if you don't change, you're going to die or become irrelevant. Nobody's going to know or understand or even come to you when they need it because you're not in their relevancy of existence. So change is needed. That's what our fellow has taught me, that change is needed. And if you're not willing to change or adapt to the times and the situation, you will become irrelevant.
Yeah, there's a lot of closed lodges right now. But well, Mr. O'Cannon, I appreciate your time today, and I can't wait to have you back here again, maybe to talk about the Improved Order of Elks that you're in as well.
Okay, thank you again. I appreciate it, and I hope to hear from you soon. And thank you for your audience for the time you have given me to listen to what we're saying, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, sir. That was Shawn O'Cannon, brothers and sisters, shedding some light on the Independent Order of Patriotic Oddfellows. Some things I gleaned here. First of all, I love his fresh thinking and new ideas. I really do. For fraternalism to move forward, it needs to evolve. You've heard me say that numerous times here on Points of Light Radio, and you've also heard my guests say that. For fraternalism to move forward, it needs to evolve. Mr. O'Cannan is trying to do that with this new organization. He really is. And what I also love is he's essentially reviving an older organization and adapting it with some parts of the craft, right? And like I said, as well as, internet-based training and things like that. That's where fraternalism really needs to go. We can still keep our rituals and our secrets, right, and our traditions, but we can also amalgamate them with some modern thinking. And I love that, right? It's wonderful to hear that Odd Fellowship is still alive. It's growing, it's adapting, okay? I think there is room for this organization within Odd Fellowship. I honestly do. Right, and like I said, Mr. O'Cannan is really keeping with some of the thinking you've seen and heard here on Points of Light Radio. Right? That's all I have time for today, brothers and sisters. But before I go, I want to remind you that this podcast is available on both YouTube and Spreaker. Please share, like, and subscribe when viewing Points of Light Radio on YouTube. I also welcome your comments and input. And I don't doubt we are going to have some odd fellows chiming in with their opinion, and I welcome that. There's room for that debate on here, right? And you can also follow Points of Light Radio on my Facebook page at facebook.com/Points of Light Radio. You can see the link to my Spotify channel, my Points of Light Radio store. You can see my Twitter feed is at Peel Light Radio. You can also see the link to the website for the Independent Order of Patriotic Oddfellows in the details section of this podcast as well. Brothers and sisters, it's been a pleasure fellowshipping with you and my guests today and bringing you this segment. Until we meet again, brothers and sisters, just step into the light.